Whoa. That's a lot of them. Ah! Got me through the door.
Welcome back, everyone. For Halloween, we're going to be checking out Amnesia: The Dark Descent. This first-person survival game was released in 2010 for the PC, but later came to PlayStation 4 in 2016, Xbox One in 2018, and Nintendo Switch in 2019. Published and developed by Frictional Games, makers of the Penumbra series, and later Soma. Amnesia: The Dark Descent was such a critical and financial success due to the many YouTube videos showcasing how creepy and scary the game was. You could argue if it wasn't for YouTubers like PewDiePie, who knows if Amnesia would have been a success. With that, the studio quickly made an extra free story to play called Amnesia Justine, which is a quick story you can beat in like 30 minutes. Then came Amnesia: A Machine for Pigs in 2013. It was published by Frictional Games, but development went to the Chinese room. On release, it got mixed reception. Some people liked the story and the creepy atmosphere just like from the previous game, but others were disappointed with how overall the game was less scary and the small amount of times you actually encounter enemies. I never played this game, so maybe next Halloween I'll check it out. Then, 7 years later, Frictional Games returned to the franchise and gave us Amnesia Rebirth. I already have a short review on this game, and overall, I was disappointed by it. Looking back, it did have some scary moments, but I think it gets too much into the sci-fi or fantasy side of things, instead of just sticking to something simple, like in the first game. They must have learned some lessons because earlier this year they released Amnesia: The Bunker. From what I heard about the game, it was a great return to form of the original game. It sounds like they took some ideas from Alien Isolation. I haven't tried the game either, but maybe in the future I'll add it to my list of Halloween games to play. Overall, Amnesia: The Dark Descent is still a great horror game to try out if you haven't. The gameplay is very simple. Avoid the scary monsters, solve puzzles, and get to the end of the level. They did add a hardcore mode, which makes the game harder. I do hate to admit, I had watched so many YouTube videos about this game, I actually know it pretty well. I already kinda knew where most of the scary moments would happen. Back then, I was just too scared to play it myself, so that's why I watched tons of YouTube videos about it. So unfortunately, I knew where most of the scares would be and what I needed to do to survive. I used to have a series with my friends where we played Amnesia, but unfortunately I deleted those videos. So I'm sorry Alex and Nick if you guys are watching this video. Even after all these years, the levels in this game are burned into my brain, which says a lot about how memorable this game is. I mean, anyone would probably poop their pants if they heard "Bruh," and this is what you saw was chasing you if you turned around. If you want the full story explained, then go check out the YouTuber Gaming Harry. He does an amazing job explaining every detail in the game to get the full story. Definitely go check out his Amnesia videos after you finish watching this video. As usual, we're going to go through the story, so spoiler warning, what I liked and disliked, and any funny or awkward moments that happened to me during my playthrough. Let's go run around in the dark.
Man, that is intense.
We start off by waking up in a castle. The game will slowly teach you the basics of the game. How to grab stuff, turn it around, and throw it. To open doors, you need to left click and hold, then move your mouse in the direction to open it. You can't move while doing this, so this will make chase scenes more intense. You wander around slowly and pick up tinker boxes. Although they are in the shape of a cylinder, so maybe tinder cylinders? Anyway, these are for lighting objects like torches and candles. Continue down the linear path, you will hear very creepy music and sound effects. Sometimes you'll see creepy stuff like a door will just open on its own. Lots of creepy stuff like this happens, and I remember the first time playing this, I was terrified. Whoever did the sound mixing did a superb job. Even though I know all of this is scripted and I'm in no real danger of encountering a monster yet, my heart rate was still beating fast. In this room, the game has you notice this lantern fall over. Pick it up and this will be your new best friend throughout the game. Not only is it used to light up areas, but help you if you begin to go insane. You'll start to hear crackling sounds and your vision will become distorted. This happens if you stay in darkness for too long. or if you look at scary stuff like dead bodies or monsters. At one point, I couldn't see very well because the insanity filter was just too blurry, so I turned it off. I know I'll probably get some hate comments, but it was ruining my experience, and I thought it was for the best to disable it. Also, when you go insane, you'll notice there's a delay on your reactions. Get into this room and read the note. It's your character named Daniel talking to himself through the note. In summary, he tells himself the goal of the game. Go to the inner sanctum and kill someone named Alexander. Also, there is something called the Shadow, and it's following him.
Redeem us both, Daniel. Descend into the darkness where Alexander waits and murder him.
Then pull this switch to open the secret passage. This area is a safe main area that branches off into different small areas for stuff you need to advance. Sometimes there will be a flash of white light. Here you'll hear voices of the past. These are memories from Daniel that are slowly coming back to him to explain some of the backstory. Our first main goal is to get past this fleshy wall. So first I go upstairs and into the archives, explore around and get creeped out by the music and sounds. There are a couple of notes Daniel reads aloud. These tell you the backstory and how Daniel got into this mess. Like I said, I'm not going to get into the backstory, so go watch Gaming Harry for the full story. There are some notes that aren't read aloud. These add some context for what was going on in the world and inside the castle. It also might be instructions on how to solve a puzzle. In one room, I can hear a piano playing, but when I get there, nobody is there. Ooh, spooky. The final note of Daniel's diary has him pass out, and he talks about when he got caved in and found a glowing orb. Throw something at this hole in the wall, crawl through it, grab these 3 books to open a secret door, and grab the key to the wine cellar. Make your way down the hall to see a monster, then head for the exit. As you make your way out, you'll get hit by some fleshy stuff. This is the Shadow, and it's slowly making its way towards Daniel. Head this way and go downstairs and use the key on the door. Explore around and hear the creepy voices, but more importantly, you'll need to find and grab potions like cuprite, then grab this potion called calamine, but debris falls in front of the door and then you get hit by a barrel. Wake up sometime later and move the debris out of the way to get out. Then there's banging on this door, which you will need to go inside and find the potion of Aqua Regia. If you grab this healing potion, a monster spawns behind you. Looking at it will drain your sanity, but it's scary not to look at it and find out where it is. Eventually it moves away and I slowly follow it but can't find it. But you should find the 4th and last potion, Orpiment. Make my way back out and get smacked by some more flesh.
Oh, come on.
Get to the other door, which is the laboratory. Down here you'll find a jar on the left, but then take it to this area over here. Then put the potions here. Then you turn on the heat, then open each valve to make some acid. You will need to put some barrels and a box here to jump on and climb out. I tried my best to avoid the flesh, but I still get hit anyway. Head down here and use the acid to clear the wall. Follow the hallway and watch as a monster walks by. Hide for a moment and let it pass. Then explore the rooms and get creeped out. There are 2 Daniel diaries in this area. Find these crates and squeeze under. Pull this stick out. Then turn the wheel to open the hatch. Head down through the cellar archives. When you walk forward, everything will go black. Then suddenly there's water on the floor, and you see something moving and splashing around. This invisible water monster will attack you if you are in the water. So go into the first room and activate the switch, and then quickly run down the hall and get through the door before the timer runs out. This next room also has a water monster in it, but you need to throw body parts out into the water so it will be distracted, while you run to the door and open the gate. Run in and the door is locked. There's a hollow needle on the shelf next to it. You need to use it to unlock the door. Now you run for your life. I close the door behind me to block the monster. Keep running until you get to the red loading door. Now we arrive at the second main area. We need to reactivate the elevator. I first checked the study. There's plenty of extra supplies in this room. This room seems to be where Alexander experimented on animals. Break this window and jump along the edges and make your way inside to find a flow cycle rod. There's some instructions on how to restart the elevator machine. Also, you'll probably find these cylinders with a crystal on top. If you click on it, your screen will turn white, and it'll describe someone who I think this is from the perspective of Alexander. I checked the next room, which is the guest room. There are 3 Daniel notes in here. Grab this crowbar to open the door. However, as I walk in, the memory gets interrupted because a monster decided to walk into the guest room. Close the door and hide in the closet until it finishes breaking down the door and walks back out. Before you go, remove this wall art to find a key. Then I head down to the storage room. It's very dark down here. First I head down to the right and collect some pieces of a drill. Then head back upstairs and head into this small storage room and grab a drill part. You'll hear a monster spawn. Stay quiet and he should go away. Listen for the intense music to go away.
I think that's the sound of a Amnesia monster.
This means the monster is gone. For now. Put the 3 pieces together and go to these giant barrels and poke a hole in it. Then place the jar down to collect some of this liquid. Do the same with the other barrel and it will create an explosive jar. Head down the middle path and place the jar down. Then throw something at it and run away. After it explodes, follow the path. Check the first door, but as for the second door...
Oh, I forgot.
Head down the path and find this closet with 2 rods. There's a note explaining about the rods, but a monster will spawn. I try walking down the hallway, but he's still there, so I hide for a bit. Once the music goes away, I try heading down the hall until I'm faced with another monster right in front of me. I decided to make a run for it.
Oh god. He is on my ass. Shut up! Oh god.
With that, I head to the machine room. Here you have a couple of puzzles to solve. First one is you need an equal number of 8 on top and bottom, which should look something like this. There are Daniel diaries in this area. Next puzzle is putting the rods here, but I'm not really sure if there's a specific way to put them, but it appears I was right on my first try. Then you need to grab these 3 gears, which are spread out in this area. So just find them all and then put them in the right spot on the machine. Then place some coal in here, then start up the machine. The shadow starts creating flesh, so try your best to dodge it.
Wow, what the fudge? Oh, come on! What am I supposed to do? I swear to God, game. You're not obvious about, oh, you need to avoid this, or you need to avoid this, but apparently I got hit from here. Oh, what? Of course, one last time, why not?
Get out and get on the elevator and descend deeper into the castle. However, as you head down, the shadow destroys the elevator, causing Daniel to fall and crash at the bottom. The memory here is Alexander taking Daniel into the dungeon where he keeps his prisoners. As you walk around, you'll hear creepy noises and voices in here. But first, grab this hammer from one of the rooms. Then as you head upstairs, a monster will spawn, so run and hide. Then continue exploring around. Find this chipper. Combine the hammer and chipper, then head to this room with a memory of a mom and daughter. Now I spend like 30 minutes running around trying to figure out what the heck I need to do, when all I needed to do was just move this bed and use the hammer and chipper on the floor to make the hole bigger. Now follow the path until you get to this hallway. Head up to the kitchen. You'll hear a monster spawn behind you, so run and hide.
Oh, there he is.
Head back out. You'll see a new kind of monster walking down the hall. There's a monster hiding in this room, so if you try to open it, he will hear you and try to break the door down to go look for you. Head down the hall and find this storage room to get a glass jar.
What? Oh.
Run back to the kitchen and use the jar on the container full of acid. Oh, and the monster comes back too. Explore around until you find this specific gate with a weak lock on it. Use the acid, then the hammer and chipper to break it open. Again, a monster will spawn, but I happened to notice when I closed the gate and he walked up to the door, he just disappeared. Strange. I began to wonder if some of these monsters were even real or fake. Anyway, head through the red door into the cistern. First, we get a memory of Alex and Daniel talking about this sewer. You need to get some oil from here with the empty jar. Then take it over here to use on the switch. Keep trying to activate it until the ladder comes down. Climb up and activate the 2 switches. However, the one on the right isn't working. Enter the control room and solve the puzzles. The first room just requires you to place these weights in the right spot. There's a unique sound to listen for, or just look at the chains in the other room on the opposite side. Use the wheel to open the door, but also place boxes underneath so it'll keep the door open. Also, grab any pipes laying around and place them in the room at the end of this room. You'll need to try out these levers until the machine is pressed all the way down, which is the 2 outer levels are pressed down while the middle ones are pressed up. The third and final puzzle is place the pipes in this order to get the machine working. You'll try to pull the lever again, but it will only come down halfway. I thought I would need to throw a bunch of blocks and maybe some stones, but I just threw one and it came down. Head to the cistern and activate the 3 wheels scattered throughout the room in order to drain the water from the sewers. It's a simple puzzle. This bridge just requires you to grab a nearby rock and throw it at the chain. The game tries to mess with you and make it sound like there's a water monster in this room. There's also 3 Daniel diaries here if you're interested. Then head into the final door, which is the morgue, and at the end of the hall is a bunch of bones. But most important is the copper tube. Head back and go to the other room and you'll find 2 other rooms full of dead bodies. But the one on the table, you will need to use the hand drill on it to poke a hole into the skull and get blood to spill out. Then place the copper tube into the head, then place the hollow needle onto it. Click on it to give Daniel a COVID vaccine. He's now immune to the poisonous gas in the sewers. As you walk to the door... Oh God! This is a different kind of monster. Something bigger and stronger, with a metal arm that will one-shot you if it hits you. Now head down the staircase into the sewer. You'll see the metal monster walk by. So be extra careful down here. We need to get past this machine, but it's spinning too fast. So head down the left tunnel and listen to the machine to know if it is slowed down and is quieter. As you leave, the metal monster will walk by to see what's going on. Hide in the room until he goes away. Then head down the other tunnel and break off this pipe and collect it. Head back to the spinning machine and use the pipe to jam it. Proceed down the tunnel until you enter this room. You'll find the old monster dead and in pieces. Seems like nothing is here, so as I head back out, the metal monster opens up a new path. He begins to make his way to the door, so just hide until he decides to leave. As you follow the new path he opened up, you'll find him blocking the way you need to go. So try to walk to the other side and just find a rock and throw it to distract him. Then run around to the other side and run for your life.
Oh God. Come on. Ooh.
We are just about done. This is the final main area. One door is blocked, the other is a dead end, the third has a note about Daniel being told by Alexander to commit murder. The fourth door has a staircase to head down to meet this thing called Agrippa. Activate this device so he can talk.
You want to stop Alexander? Oh my, so Babylon shall fall, you say?
First thing to do is go over here, place a box or 2 to jump on, and fix this gear. I wonder how many people had to look that up because I'm one of them. That was not an obvious puzzle to solve. Now that the machine works, head back upstairs and turn on the machine. Head back down and hear Alexander try to communicate with you.
Daniel, you have gone too far. I have to stop you. I can't let you proceed any further. I'm sorry, my friend.
Head through the transept door, climb the stairs and grab the string. Then head back down, and in each of the rooms has a piece of an orb to pick up. You also want to get some blood samples from the door on the right. Click on the grate for some text, then open it up, combine the string with the jar, and gather some blood from the hole. You can click on each torture device to learn more about how they work. It's very sickening to know these were real devices in the real world. Now we head to the choir entrance. There's 2 rooms you can explore. One of them is watching Daniel torture a man from a memory. He did it to keep the shadow away. Head all the way down the hall into the main entrance. The big metal monster is in here with you, so carefully follow the wall to the right. It's a really big room. Luckily, it's not dark in here, but it is still really hard to see. Cross this bridge. There's 3 torture rooms in here, and each of them has an orb. The first is the wheel, and the orb is over here. Then walk straight out and you'll find a pit. As I tried to climb on top to cross over the pit, I heard the metal monster was coming. I hid from him, but as I waited, he seemed to patrol back and forth in this area. So I waited for him to walk away before trying to jump on that pillar. Then the next room has a bowl device in it. The orb is over here. Walk out and follow the wall to the right. There's a pit, so follow it to this bridge and cross over and then continue to follow it to the right. You'll find the third room with the Iron Maiden.
Oh, yep. I knew it. I knew it.
The orb is just over here. Follow the wall to the right and find the door. Head back down the long hallway and into this area. You'll find some meat upstairs. Then find this room and attach the meat to the rope and lower it. The water monster will eat it, so collect the remains. Head into the next room, the chancel. You'll hear the shadow, and as you walk in, monsters will spawn and capture you. Don't worry, this is supposed to happen. From here, you can just sit and wait. Eventually the shadow will come and kill you. But I want to press on. Alexander will talk to you for a bit, but what you need to do is pull on this jail bar, then pick it up and use it on the bricks. Then grab it and pull on it to make an opening. Then pull on the support on the other side to break the wall. Grab this bucket from one of the cells, pull up the string, place the bucket on the string, rotate the handle to move it down, then bring it back up and grab the bucket full of water. Use it on this pipe to wash out the rusty key. Now get to running. We're back in the main area. Read the note and Daniel will fall over. He describes the time Alex and him went and killed the dad of a family and kidnapped the mom and children to complete the ritual. As you return to the main room, the shadow will begin taking over the area. Watch out for random attacks.
Ow. What?
If you want to do the secret ending, go into the laboratory, which is open now, place the jar on here, and turn the knob. Pick up the incomplete tonic, then place it here, put the bone remains in this box, and pull the lever. The tonic is still incomplete, so pick it up and place it here, put the poison gland here, and turn the handle to finally pick up Weyer's tonic. Give a grip of the potion, then head into this new room to the left and find a bone saw. Use it on Agrippa to cut off his head, and now take it with you to the channel room. The big metal monster is in here, so keep your eyes open for him, but also watch for the shadow.
Oh, Jesus.
Head to the left and hide over here to wait for the metal monster to walk by. Jump back over and head inside. Grab this bucket of tar and head down to the machine room and throw rocks at it to destroy it. Now, carefully head back up, and from here you need to head to the left. Place the tar in this and start putting all the pieces in it. You can finally pass into the inner sanctum. Run downstairs and pull this lever to buy you some time. Touch this ritual thing, then turn around and look at this thing and walk on the markings. Then do the same thing on the other side and read Daniel's final note. He is angry for what Alexander did and made him into a murderer. He was left outside the inner sanctum and left to wait for the shadow to come and kill him. So I guess Daniel went back upstairs, and that's when he took the amnesia potion to forget and left notes around to slowly remind him what he did, and to tell him to go and kill Alexander. Well, the door is open, so take some hits from the shadow and confront Alexander. You get 3 options on how you want to end the game. The first thing is just wait until Alex finishes the ritual. He goes through the portal, and then the shadow comes and kills Daniel. You'll hear Alexander thank Daniel for his sacrifice. You can knock over the 3 pillars, which the shadow will appear and kill Alexander. The shadow lets Daniel live, and he leaves the castle while giving us his final thoughts.
There's no denying the things I've done, but I have paid my tribute. I gave them that awful man. I did the right thing.
The third ending is placing Agrippa's head into the portal once it is open. So just wait for a bit until the portal does this, then place Agrippa's head into it. The shadow will kill both Alexander and Daniel. However, you'll see some stars in the distance and you'll hear Agrippa's voice telling Weyer to help him, and assures Daniel everything will be alright. In conclusion, Amnesia: The Dark Descent is still a great horror game. Despite remembering most of the scary moments, I still was scared playing this game. For a small studio, they did an incredible job with making this the creepiest game to play. Whoever was in charge of putting the music and sound effects together deserves a bonus. My heart rate was beating over 100 while playing this game. I was constantly taking deep breaths to try and relax. Some people may think this was too simple of a game, and I agree. It's simple in the sense that you just need to explore every room and grab all the important pieces of equipment, and then you just need to get to the exit to move on to the next room. I think the devs knew what they had created was special and unique. I'm glad it is still remembered to this day, and hopefully they continue to make future Amnesia games better over time. Despite Rebirth feeling like the devs tripped on their shoelaces, The Bunker sounds like they listened to the fans and improved on the Amnesia experience. If you still haven't played Amnesia, I recommend you give it a try on any console or PC. Although I'm sure you're just gonna go watch some people on YouTube.
I don't care. Run, run, run. Ah! No, where is he? Ah! Ah! Get down! Where the fuck are you to go? Ah! 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 Run! Ah! Ah!
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe to help grow my channel, and comment below on what you thought. Check out my other videos and on the Time Pals podcast over on Spotify. Links in the description. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.